evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is your NWS play-by-play commentator, Joe Galli, making this triumphant return after a 2-month hiatus to the NWS Revolution. And today, Joe Galli, am going to give you my NWS Revolution Impact review. It was, of course, the NWS Fighters and Survivors Aftermath show. Last night's show was once again hailing from the Tokyo Dome and Bunkayo, Tokyo, Japan. The commentators for the show were NWS Head of Talent Relations Michael Cole and color commentator Dan Lambert as they welcomed the fans back to the Tokyo Dome and Bunkayo, Tokyo, Japan, and broke down the match card. Then they thanked the fans for coming. And the first match was a fatal 5-way steel cage match for the NWS Tag Team Championships. As current NWS Tag Team Champions, Devin the Demon and Legion being accompanied to the ring by Triple H versus Tony Jr. II and his mystery tag team partner, Trevor Phillips from Grand Theft Auto 5 versus AEW World Heavyweight Champion MJF, Michael Jacob Friedman, and AEW's Max Caster versus Zed and Santos, who were accompanied to the ring by Paul Heyman. And it was a fatal 5-way match for the steel cage. As the steel cage lowers, out come first former NWS Tag Team Champions Zed and Santos, being accompanied by Paul Heyman. Then came out Devin the Demon, and then came out Tony Jr. II and Trevor Phillips. Then came out MJF and Max Caster, and then came up the NWS Tag Team Champions Devin the Demon and Legion as this match got underway, and all 5 tag teams beat the holy hell out of each other as they hit wrestling move after wrestling move, submission after submission, weapon after weapon. But as of course, Lion King X and JJ tossed the current NWS Tag Team Champions, means Devin the Demon and Legion face and Tony Jr. II, Trevor Phillips, and then MJF and Max Caster face first into the steel cage as they slammed the steel cage on their faces, busting them wide open. And then Tony Jr. II, Trevor Phillips went crazy at our tag teams as they hit him with baseball bats, steel chairs, steel steps, body slammed them on thumbtacks. Oh boy, this match was just crazy. And then Lion King X and JJ almost came very close to recapturing the NWS Tag Team Champions, but they were taken out by Tony Jr. II and Trevor Phillips, as Trevor Phillips dumped beer out over every tag team. And then Tony Jr. II, Trevor Phillips came very close to winning, but as they hit a flying elbow through a table into the middle ring and went to pin the current tag team champions, Devin the Demon and Legion, but they kicked out. And then Zed and Santos came very close to recapturing the NWS Tag Team titles as they hit their finishes on all 4 tag teams. They came this close, and they even came very close to exiting the steel cage, but Paul Heyman had to interfere as he slammed the steel cage right into former NWS Tag Team Champions Zed and Santos. Oh, the steel cage match is going crazy as all 5 tag teams are bleeding profusely. There was even, and then all 5 tag teams started fighting on top of the steel cage, doing everything in their power to win the match. Zed and Santos 5 times, 3 times. 5 times. Count them 5 times. Came very close to recapturing the NWS Tag Team Championships. But Devin the Demon and Legion chokeslam tombstone power choke. So first they delivered a double power bomb onto Zed and Santos, and a double power bomb onto MJF and Max Caster, and a double power bomb onto Lion King X and JJ, and they pinned they pinned out tactics, but Zed and Santos once again got a shoulder up. Oh wow, this match is just getting more crazy and crazy. And in the end, Devin the Demon and Legion took out all 4 tag teams and then got the pinfall and pinned all 4 tag teams 1, 2, 3 via pinfall with double powerbomb through 3 flaming glass tables. Boy, this match was crazy. Wow. And then after the match, out came NWS Revolution owner, chairman, and CEO Scott Kisagale, and then out came NWS World Heavyweight Champion John Manager Cody Mercer, and then out came the American Mercenaries as Scott Kisagale and Cody Mercer said, "Enough is enough. We're sick and tired of this hostage. It's time for both stables to release. It's time for the NWS Avengers to release Johnny Da Vinci." So first out came the NWS Adventures, and they released Johnny Da Vinci, and they paid the American Mercenaries the fine. And then out came the American Mercenaries, and they finally released Michael Rapaport, and then they paid the fine. So both fines have been made, and it is now official. Michael Rapaport is back with the NWS Adventures, and Johnny Da Vinci is back with the American Mercenaries. And then both Johnny Da Vinci and Tony Jr. II got on the microphone as I, Joe Galli, made my triumphant return and got a sit-down interview with both Tony Jr. II and Johnny Da Vinci. And I asked them and I asked Tony Jr. II how Vinny Joe is doing. Tony Jr. II said Vinny Joe is doing fine. He's just taking a break to reinvent himself, and he will be back when the time is right. But all he needs to do is reinvent himself. Johnny Da Vinci said that he feels like kicking ass tonight. But before he kicks ass, he's got to go take a shower. But so Johnny Da Vinci says tonight he wants a So Johnny Da Vinci starts saying that how he's going to make the NWS Avengers lives a living hell. But he just got done talking to Tony Jr. II, and they want in the Wargames match. There's Tony Jr. II and Johnny Da Vinci asks NWS Revolution owner, chairman, and CEO Scott Kisagale, also known as Scotty Bad Bones, and NWS general manager, world heavyweight champion, being Cody Mercer, to put them in the Wargames match. So then, Scott Kisagale and Cody Mercer both agreed to put the American Mercenaries, Tony Jr. II, John Da Vinci, and the Wargames match for NWS Revolution Wars on Sunday, December 18th. At the Winchester Arena in Chicago, Illinois. So now it will be Scotty Bad Bones and Sir Robert Knight teaming up the Elite Legions of Darkness to take on the NWS Avengers, to take on the Dark Carnival, to take on the direct message guy, and versus the American Mercenaries in a Wargames match. So it's going to be one hell of a match. More details of that Wargames match will be explained by NWS Revolution owner, chairman, and CEO Scott Kisagale in the video either later today or tomorrow or sometime on the weekend. Yes, you'll have more details about the Wargames match that Scott Kisagale will explain. But now both Tony Jr. II and Johnny Da Vinci have been added to the Wargames match. And Johnny Da Vinci went backstage to take a shower and get ready for his match later on. And then the 46th President of the United States, Joe Biden, and the 49th Vice President of the United States, Kamala Harris, came out and challenged Johnny Da Vinci to a 2-on-1 handicap match, as both Joe Biden and Kamala Harris were in the locker room waiting for Giant Da Vinci to come out. And Giant Da Vinci washed out his body parts, cleaned his hair, and came out in a whoop and was shown putting his ring gear. And then he saw Joe Biden and Kamala Harris in his locker room. And Giant Da Vinci said, "What the hell are you doing in my locker room, you sick perverts?" Joe Biden then said him and Kamala Harris just got done talking. If you don't know, and then Joe Biden says he doesn't know if he's hard of hearing, but he said him and Kamala Harris challenged Johnny Da Vinci to a 2-on-1 handicap match. And of course, Johnny Da Vinci accepted. He said, "You're on, you got your match." Wow. So that match was booked on for later in the night. And then there was more footage of the 45th president of the United States, Donald J. Trump, taking Scotty Badbones, Cody Mercer, the Sons of Chaos, and elite leadership doctors and American mercenaries on a tour of Tokyo, Japan. On a tour of Tokyo, Japan, where they had the best sushi food in Tokyo, Japan ever. Wow, it was one hell of a tour. And then the next match was the Bloker and Creedence Xavier Reed versus AEW's John Moxley and Bryan Danielson in a tag team match. This match was a great back and forth technical tag team wrestling match as John Moxley and Bryan Danielson took down the Bloker and Creedence Xavier Reed with move after move, submission after submission. So John Moxley dropped both the Bloker and Creedence Xavier Reed with the death fight as Bryan Danielson locked him in the lapel lock, but they refused to submit. And John Moxley and Bryan Danielson came very close to winning against the Bloker and Creedence Xavier Reed, but in the end, the Bloker dropped both Bryan Danielson and John Moxley with the No Laughing Matter, and Creedence Xavier Reed dropped the Creedence dive on both John Moxley and Bryan Danielson, and then they delivered a 3D. Yes, the Bloker and Creedence Xavier Reed dropped John Moxley and Bryan Danielson with a 3D and pinned them 1-2-3. Winner of the match via pinfall, the Bloker and Creedence Xavier Reed with 3D, as this match lasted 17 minutes and 16 seconds. What a good tag team match. And at the match, both tag teams shook hands as a sign of respect. And then it was ready for the 2-on-1 handicap match as Johnny Da Vinci came out to the ring accompanied by Triple H to get ready for his match. And then out came the 46th President of the United States, Joe Biden, and the 49th Vice President of the United States, Kamala Harris, being accompanied to the ring by both Paul Heyman and Don Callis. As this match got underway, Johnny Da Vinci went apeshit on Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. He headbutted them, slammed their heads with Alfred Chudbuck goes delivered spine busters, delivered low blows to Joe Biden, and body slammed Kamala Harris. Gave both Kamala Harris and Joe Biden a clothesline until Kamala Harris slaps Johnny Da Vinci. Joe Biden and low blows Johnny Da Vinci, and then Joe Biden delivers a devastating BKO and Biden kick to Johnny Da Vinci as Kamala Harris then takes down Johnny Da Vinci as Joe Biden and Kamala Harris are double teaming Johnny Da Vinci. Yes, they are double teaming Johnny Da Vinci, beating him from pillar to post, doing everything in their power to win. But it is not enough as Johnny Da Vinci came back and just gave a scoop slam to both Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. And then he gave them a double powerbomb. And then Kamala Harris, out of nowhere, where low blows Johnny Da Vinci, locks him in the lockjaw, but Johnny Da Vinci refuses to submit. And then Kamala Harris plants Johnny Da Vinci with the stomp as Joe Biden delivers a Biden kicking BKO as they go to pin him. But it's not enough to take Johnny Da Vinci down, because in the end, Johnny Da Vinci then big boots both Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, gives them 3 more body slams, a scoop slam, and a European uppercut, and then Johnny Da Vinci delivers the death sentence to both Joe Biden and Kamala Harris and pins them 1, 2, 3. Win of the match Johnny Da Vinci via pinfall with death sentence. And Johnny Da Vinci is still undefeated in the NWS Revolution. He just keeps winning and winning. Johnny Da Vinci gets on the mic again and says that abduction did not hurt him, it just made him stronger. And the American mercenaries is gonna get stronger than ever, because once Billy Joe comes back, all hell will break loose. Wow, so great tag team match. I mean, Joe Biden and Kamala Harris thought they had Johnny Da Vinci beat, but nope. Johnny Da Vinci ended up beating them. Good 2-on-1 handicap match. And then the next match was the 4th match. It was NWS Revolution owner, chairman, CEO Scott Casey-Gale, also known as Scotty Bad Bones, being accompanied by Shane McMahon as he took on AEW's Kenny Omega, being accompanied by Don Callis as this match got underway. Both Scotty Bad Bones and Kenny Omega trade blows. Kenny Omega then takes down Scotty Bad Bones with a V trigger. Good. And then body slams him. Scotty Bad Bones and delivers a scoop slam to Kenny Omega. Then he delivers a spine buster to Kenny Omega, and he locks Kenny Omega in the figure 4 leg lock. But Kenny Omega refuses to submit, as Kenny Omega fights Scott Casey-Gale off. And then Kenny Omega hits Scott Casey-Gale with several punches, and then Kenny Omega delivers. And then Kenny Omega hits Scotty Bad Bones with signature moves such as the 450 splash, the Katawa Crusher, the missile drop kick, multiple suplex variations, the Wayne trigger, the reverse Frankenstein Rise of the Terminator, springboard moonsault, you can't escape, another V trigger, and then delivers the Quaid's Wrath, and the One-Winged Angel goes to pin Scotty Bad Bones, but somehow, some way, Scotty Bad Bones kicks out at 2.5. Wow. Scotty Bad Bones gets fired up. Don Callis tries to interfere as he super kicks Scotty Bad Bones. Kenny Omega decides to take advantage, but Scotty Bad Bones gets a shoulder up. Don Callis gets in the ring, only to get punched in the face by Scotty Bad Bones and to eat a frog splash and an RKO as Scotty Bad Bones tosses Don Callis out of the ring. Kenny Omega then tries to hit Scotty Bad Bones with a V trigger, but in the end, Scotty Bad Bones comes back as he delivers a setup powerbomb to Kenny Omega. Then he delivers the frog splash and RKO's Kenny Omega and pins him 1, 2, 3. Winner of the match, Scotty Bad Bones via pinfall with frog splash and RKO, as this match lasted 19 minutes and 35 seconds. Wow, Scotty Bad Bones is fired up. He gets on the mic and he says how ready he is for Wargames. And then it's the co-main event. It's for the NWS Universal Championship. As NWS Universal Champion Psycho Mercer being accompanied with Triple H, took on WWE's Finn Balor. So This was the co-main event. As out first came Finn Balor, and then came up the NWS Universal Champion, being Psycho Mercer, being accompanied by Triple H. As this match got underway, Finn Balor did everything in his power to win, but it was not enough to take Psycho Mercer down. As Psycho Mercer then speared down Finn Balor and hit him with his signature moves. But then Finn Balor came back as he punched Psycho Mercer, and then gave him several punches, including an elbow drop, and then Finn Balor hit Finn Balor hit Psycho Mercer with a signature moves such as the Brainbuster, the dive double foot stomp, the float over DDT, the lariat, the lifting inverted DDT, Pele kick, 1916, running front drop kick, running knife edge chop, sling blade, spinning headbutt, elbow drop, suicide somersault sentence as he went to pin Psycho Mercer, but Psycho Mercer kicked out at 2.5. And then he delivered the coup de grace and 1916 to Psycho Mercer, went to pin him, but somehow, someway, Psycho Mercer got a shoulder up. And then he decides to go out Prince Devitt, his former enemy, and drop Psycho Mercer with the Bloody Sunday, the reverse Bloody Sunday, Brainbuster, and the Devitt's End, and Princess Thorn, and then the Shigata Princess Thorn goes to pin him, but somehow, someway, Psycho Mercer kicks out at 2.5. Then Psycho Mercer gets fired up, and Psycho Mercer hits Finn Balor for DDT and double DDT, and the Hurricane Rana, and then Psycho Mercer then locks Finn Balor in a Kimura lock, but Finn Balor refuses to submit. It is still not enough to take. As this match continues with wrestling move after wrestling move, and then Psycho Mercer locks Finn Balor in the Coquina Clutch, but Finn Balor refuses to submit, and in the end, Psycho Mercer then drops Finn Balor with the Psycho Stunner, the Psycho Bomb, and the Psycho Buster, and pins Finn Balor 1, 2, 3, win the match, and still NWS Universal Champion, being Psycho Mercer via pinfall with Psycho Stunner, Psycho Bomb, and Psycho Buster. As this match lasted 20 minutes and 25 seconds. What a good co-main event. And then it was the main event. It was for the World Heavyweight title as NWS World Heavyweight Champion General Manager Cody Mercer took on WWE Shinsuke Nakamura. So out came WWE Shinsuke Nakamura, and then Cody Mercer, being accompanied to the ring by Triple H. This match got underway, and then both Shinsuke Nakamura and both Shinsuke Nakamura and Cody Mercer trade blows. Cody Mercer then delivers devastating bench presses to Shinsuke Nakamura, drops him on those, opens a can of whoop ass in him, drops him on those stack dumps, he covers the neck, and stops the mud hole in Nakamura and walks the tribe. That is until Nakamura fights back. As he fights Cody Mercer off, and Shinsuke Nakamura then more than hits Cody Mercer with his signature moves, such as a Death Valley Driver, a double knee backbreaker, a double underhook pile driver, an enziguri, a fake roundhouse kick, a front sleeper hold, good vibrations, bad vibrations, inverted power slam, lariat, running knee strike, and then delivers the bumeye and cross arm breaker, landslide shining triangle, goes to pin, but somehow, someway, Cody Mercer gets a shoulder up and fights Shinsuke Nakamura off as he delivers chops as he chops him in the chest, gives him a back body drop, a flying elbow, a leg drop, a running knee strike, a baseball slide, a Michinoka driver. Shinsuke Nakamura tries to come back with another shining triangle, but it's not enough as Cody Mercer then delivers a Mercer starter to Shinsuke Nakamura, and then he delivers a tombstone pile driver and a Mercer footprint and pins the 1-2-3 winner of the match and still NWS World Heavyweight Champion Cody Mercer via pinfall with Mercer stunner, tombstone pile driver, and Mercer footprint. And then Cody Mercer and Shinsuke Nakamura shake hands as a sign of respect. And then the NWS Avengers, President Joe Biden, Vice President Kamala Harris, Michael Rapaport, and Don Callis, and Lion King X and JJ, and the Bloodline, Roman Reigns, and Jimmy and Jey Uso, and Sami Zayn all decide to attack Cody Mercer as they stop at him in the middle of the ring. And then out comes NWS Revolution Orange Chairman CEO Scott Casey and Sober Up Night II as they fight off the NWS Avengers. And then out come the Dark Carnival as they take out Scotty Bad Bones and Sober Up Night II and the Bursars, and the NWS Avengers, and then out comes the American Mercenaries, Johnny Da Vinci and Tony Jordan II. And then out comes the Direct Message guy all masked up, and it's a major bar as our stables are beating the holy hell out of each other. Michael Cole and Dan Abbott are going crazy on commentary with true wrestling passion and emotion. I mean, our stables are fighting out over the arena and through the crowd. And then they go up the rampway, and then they fight all the way backstage, all the way in the locker rooms, in the bathrooms, and then outside in the parking lot. It's going crazy, and they just continue to fight nonstop. As Michael Cole says on commentary, the countdown to War Games has begun. War Games is happening already. It's going crazy. It's just our stable just beating the holy hell out of each other. Security desperately tries to hold outer stables back, but they can't. As it continues to bar, as Michael Cole says, War Games will happen on Sunday, December 18th. At the Winchester Arena in Chicago, Illinois. Dan Abbott says he's ready to call War Games. It's going to be one hell of a match. We are, as Michael Cole says, we are out of time. Good night, everybody. And color commentator Dan Abbott says, thank you for coming. And the show goes off the air with our stables flying out over the arena. What a way to end the show. And we understand we will be hearing from Scott Casey-Gale. We will also be hearing from Johnny Da Vinci this week as he will talk about what exactly happened to him when he was hostage for the past 2 weeks by the NWS Avengers. And we will also hear from Michael Rapaport, who we haven't seen for 2 months. So he's going to be making his return promo this week. He's going to be talking about what the American Mercenaries did to him. He's going to be talking about that he's ready for War Games. At Revolution Wars, will happen on December 18th. Thank you for watching. Next week, Michael Cole and Dan Abbott will give you their Revolution Impact review. This is Joe Galli signing up saying thank you for watching. See you next week. Joe Galli out.